Please welcome Atlassian Chief Marketing Officer, Zeynep Ozdemir.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Zeynep Ozdemir, and I'm the Chief Marketing Officer here at Atlassian. And it is my first team event, so let me do a quick pulse check. How are we doing? Okay, so today, myself and Tiffany are going to talk about the Atlassian System of Work. You may ask, what exactly is a system of work? For us, it was a way of distilling 20+ years of experience into some core beliefs. And it was also a way for us to organize our portfolio into a system that makes most sense for our customers. Operating with a system of work is probably more helpful than ever these days, with so many new realities shaping the way we work. Many of you and many of us here at Atlassian are asking very similar questions these days. How do we make the most out of generative AI? How do we empower distributed teams to do their best work? We have so many tools and so much data in silos. How can we connect them to drive holistic insights? What can we do to manage our ever-evolving security and compliance landscape? And last but not least, how can we do more with less with economic pressures that we're all facing? While we try to answer all of these questions, it is imperative that we get the basics of teamwork right. Our Team Anywhere research, however, shows that organizations are still struggling with the foundations of teamwork. We surveyed Fortune 1000 executives and asked them what their top organizational challenges are. Low productivity was a top one, closely followed by lack of alignment to goals. Stakeholder management and stakeholder alignment, which is at the heart of collaboration, was also one of the top challenges. Now, for the last 20 years or so, Atlassian has been trying to help overcome challenges like these to unleash the potential of every team. It all started 20 years ago, actually 22 years ago, when Mike and Scott brought to life a product called Jira 1.0. Shortly after that, they built Confluence so that teams can document their knowledge. Since then, teamwork has evolved, and so did Atlassian. Throughout this journey, we launched several new products to support our customers. But we know that great teamwork is not just about great software. Great teams develop great practices, and they continuously improve how they work. So we've invested in every facet of teamwork. Our work futurists are constantly looking into trends that are shaping work. Our researchers study and measure patterns that make teams more effective. Our team playbook offers rituals that help foster connection between teams. Drawing from all of this experience and research, we've developed a perspective on how great teamwork happens. And we're calling that Atlassian System of Work. At the heart of our system of work are teamwork foundations. These are a set of tenets for all teams: marketing teams, software teams, design teams, IT teams, finance teams, you name it. In order to thrive in a modern world, we believe that all teams need to do three things. 1, align their work to goals. 2, plan and track work cross-functionally across all teams. And 3, unleash knowledge in the organization. Today, we'll spend some time talking about each one of these. Once these robust foundations are in place, specialized teams can build on top of these foundations and can focus on doing specific jobs to be done. For example, product and development teams can discover new ideas and build great software. IT and service teams can support employees and customers and respond to incidents. Leadership teams can steer their company and manage their portfolios. Today, Atlassian provides a portfolio of products that help you achieve this system of work. As Anu noted earlier in her keynote session, we believe Jira, Confluence, and Loom set up key teamwork foundations for all teams to achieve shared goals, shared knowledge, and shared progress. You also probably heard Mike announce Rovo, not probably, definitely heard Mike announce Rovo. We believe Rovo will be a key accelerator for all teams. All of this is powered by the Atlassian Cloud Platform, which connects all of your teamwork data within a single teamwork graph and brings universal experiences such as AI, analytics, and automation. We also know that you need the flexibility to connect third-party SaaS tools and data sources into our system of work. So our platform is designed from the ground up with extensibility in mind. ESG Research conducted a study across a number of Atlassian customers and found that customers who adopt our Teamwork Foundations increase project success from 57% to 75%, in addition to many other good stats like that, so check it out. Let me illustrate it with an explicit example. You all know Reddit. Reddit is on a mission to bring community and empowerment to everyone in the world. Today, they have north of 70 million daily active users. As Reddit grew, so did the number of tools they were using. This, in turn, increased costs and security risks and created a lot of silos between teams. So Reddit leadership opted to centralize on Jira and Confluence for their teamwork foundations and brought on board all teams, including HR, operation, design, and more. By adopting Atlassian across their business, Reddit made it easier for employees to collaborate, find information, and just support each other. And they saved a lot of dollars. But Reddit is not the only one. Many innovative companies today are choosing to standardize on Atlassian to increase efficiency, transparency, and collaboration across teams. Let's now get into the weeds. Tiffany Toe, who's our SVP of Platform and Enterprise, will join us momentarily on stage to talk about the 3 pillars of Teamwork Foundations. But first, let's watch a quick video.
So are you guys excited yet? Yeah. I know I am. As head of our enterprise and platform teams, I know what this means. I know that it signals our commitment to all of you to build the best system of work possible, because it's not some newfangled concept, right? It's what all of you has already been working on. You've had to configure and stitch your own system of work using our tools, other vendors' tools, and you've had to do this so your teams can actually do the work. And you've taken time to tell us about these systems of work, the things that actually fit together and the things that don't. You've told us how hard it is to get value from all of that data. You've told us you think there's a gold mine in that data. You've done all this work standardizing on our tools, but you can't get the insights out of it. Well, I know this is going to be a journey together, but we are fully committed to partnering with you to build the best system of work possible for your organizations. So let's get into it. I'm going to take you through with Zeynep what makes Atlassian's system of work unique. You're going to see how your teams can move faster, but in harmony together. And that means we're going to go through those teamwork foundations that Zeynep covered. How to align work to goals, right? How to plan and track work across all the teams in your organization. And last, but definitely not least, how to unleash all of that knowledge across your company. So let's start with the first one, because everything starts with a team, right? But teams, they need direction. How do we actually measure a team's success? Well, that comes down to their goals. Goals give those teams their mission. And this clarity of mission is going to inform 1,000 downstream decisions that either help teams align or work at cross purposes. And that's not what we want. But we see that often, right? Because the reality of goals we find often is they're set at the top, but then they're completely disconnected at the bottom from all the work that's actually happening on the ground. And that's because leaders, they often have limited visibility into what work is actually contributed and connecting to those goals. While the teams on the ground, they're a bit in the dark about how all that work that they're doing, how that's actually connected to the company's broader objectives. In fact, only 30% of workers see the link between their work and the company's broader purpose. That's really bad news if you want your teams motivated and clear on what they need to do to make your business the most competitive it can be. And that's why at Atlassian, we hold a very strong belief that goals must be visible at every single level and clearly connected to the work that is contributing to them. And so to put that belief into practice, we've made a really exciting decision to make goals a standard part of the backbone of Atlassian's system of work, so that every single team can set, connect, and track those goals. And that's a really, really big deal, because we know, yes, there are plenty of tools to track goals, right? From a simple sheet of paper to a fancy OKR tool. But what's truly unique about Atlassian's goals is our approach to how to make them useful for everyone. Because we've embedded goals into the core platform that powers the system of work, it makes it easy for us to start deeply integrating it into all the experiences across our products that the full range of users in your organization will leverage. So whether it's a goal that's in Jira, in Confluence, in Jira Product Discovery, any update or change is reflected in real time everywhere. So imagine all your teams have complete clarity on what they should be driving towards without having to check another spreadsheet or jump into another tool. Now, to bring this to life a little bit more tangibly, let's picture a scenario together. So Vitafleet, they're a healthcare logistics company for the global distribution of medical supplies. They're an industry leader, they've been growing a lot, but lately they're seeing diminishing returns on their internal investments. And they suspect maybe it's their existing processes. And they're probably not able to handle the weight of all the additional people they've been growing, all the processes, all the tools. It started to feel really hard for everyone to get work done. And that means folks are worried that the pace of shipping customer value has slowed down. But don't worry, there's hope. Because Vitafleet is already using Jira and Confluence in their dev teams, their VP of IT decides, hey, let's try Atlassian's system of work across the business for all teams. Like most enterprises, it's going to take a lot of different teams across Vitafleet working together to move the company's ambitions forward. So how does aligning everyone on Atlassian's system of work actually help? Well, Picture, it's annual planning time, VitaFleet execs across R&D, marketing, sales, they've got an offsite, and they're gonna discuss the company's strategy moving forward. And they align on a company goal. Leadership decides we're gonna drive 15% additional revenue across the company. Management job done, right? Okay, just kidding. Other people are involved here. So to achieve this, the product leaders, they're gonna bet on a new customer growth via a revamped health portal. Marketing also has to set an important supporting goal for improving brand sentiment. And so now they've got all these goals, what are they gonna do with them? Are they gonna stick them in a spreadsheet or adopt another tool? No way. Our VitaFleet teams can now input their goals directly in the new goal directory from Atlassian. Anyone at any time can click into a goal and see who's delivering work contributing to that goal. You can see here, you've got R&D, they've got a project to launch that new health portal I mentioned. In marketing, they're gonna launch that supporting campaign. And what you can see here is with goals and their status an integral part of the system of work, it means less surprises at the end of the quarter. Leaders and teams, they can recalibrate their plans early and often to maximize their success towards those ambitious goals. And for those of you who have been using our new Atlas tool, these experiences, they might look a little familiar. And that's because the goal directory is now being standardized as part of the Atlassian home. So you don't need an Atlas license anymore. Yay! And that Atlassian home, it's a really important cross-product experience in the system of work, because it's where anyone in VitaFleet can keep their finger on the pulse of what's happening in the organization. It's where they're gonna see updates on progress for their work, but also understand what their colleagues are working on and how it all connects together. So a lot more coming soon in this area. I know we have a lot of the Atlassian home team over here, so if you've got feature requests, head over in this area. Okay, so now that you've got goals shared and aligned for everyone, we've nailed pillar number 1, right, of the Teamwork Foundation. On to pillar 2, planning and tracking work across teams. So we've got the goals, we can just go build the plan and start the work, right? Yeah, so if only it were that simple. Working with other teams, aligning your plans, getting a big picture view across all those teams, you've told us it's actually really messy. And then now everyone's got distributed teams. So if you've got distributed teams and then you've got teams in your organization tracking their work in different places, well, we get it, right? It becomes a really complicated dance to align all of those plans together. Because ensuring a smooth flow of work between all these diverse teams is pretty simple. It requires a single source of truth. And this singular source of truth, what does it need to do? It needs to provide a full shared understanding of what's happening, by when, who's doing it, how it's being done, and as we started, why we're doing it. And that's why another really core belief in the Atlassian system of work is that all teams need to have a single place to plan and track work together. And that's why I'm so thrilled about our announcement this morning from Anu that we're bringing Jira Work Management and Jira Software together into a single offering. It's Jira. Yes, everyone's like, finally, you guys got the message. We're really confident this next evolution of Jira will be key in connecting all these types of teams together. So let's see it in action. So we go back to VitaFleet. They've defined their goals. They've connected projects directly to those goals. Now it's time to bring those goals to life with work in Jira. So previously, the team, they had a bunch of different tools for project management. The dev team, as I said, they were using Jira, but the non-dev teams were using a bunch of other tools. So if R&D's ship dates moved, because that never happens, right? Well, marketing, sales, all those other teams contributing to the launch, they didn't always feel like they were given enough heads up to adjust their plans. So you can imagine how that affects collaboration. But now, all these teams, they're all tracking work in this new Jira, right? Everyone is plugged into the same system of work. And it's all powered, as Anu and Mike shared, by our teamwork graph. It's using data on how things are going across all the teams and adding the context of those connections between the teams, the goals, the work, the plans, even all the related knowledge. By connecting all this data under the covers, we're really superpowering that collaboration. And it's invisible. Because here you have our marketing manager that's leading that portal relaunch campaign. The new Jira is tailored for business teams. So they can do it very quickly and simply. They create that project using the new list view. Not a lot of complicated configuration steps, right? But meanwhile, also in Jira, in their own dedicated project, you've got the engineering manager. They're leading the team on building the portal relaunch. And they're mapping requirements to the next sprint. They're scoping platform improvements, and so much more. And what's important here is between R&D and marketing, that work is being defined and getting tracked using workflows and features that make sense for each of those individual teams. But since this is happening in one Jira source of truth, one platform, you can have these separate projects, but you can group by the goals and bring those different viewpoints together. And that means dependencies are clear, folks are aligned, you don't need hundreds of extra Slack messages and meetings to coordinate, and teams can actually prioritize the most important work. Here, we can see how marketing's campaign lines up against R&D's roadmap. So they can keep track of when those dependencies shift. So now, when a delivery date happens to slip, then the marketing team, they're notified. They're updated in real time. They're on the same page. They can adjust their plans. Much better relationships, I think, between those teams. Teams can even switch to a calendar view to see where the deliverable dates line up together. Can you believe your eyes? So Jira isn't some big scary tool just for dev teams. It can flex up for the teams with the most complex needs, which many of you have very, very complex needs. But it also can flex down for all those teams across the company that need fast, simple ways to organize their work. And most importantly, it connects all those teams finally together. And as an important reminder, all of this is done on a single enterprise platform, which is equipped with all those important security, compliance, scale, performance capabilities that we all know are fundamental. So while you're delighting your finance team on the money you're saving the company by reducing the number of tools and integrations, you're also making your security and compliance teams happy because you're holding that security bar higher. You're even reducing the overall attack surface, right? So win-win. So we've got pillar number 1 done, pillar number 2, we've got goals and work coordination. We're in good shape. So now on to the last, but the hardest. I'm going to ask Zeynep back up to explain how knowledge gets unleashed.
OK, I'm back. We're trying to keep things exciting for you. All right, so Tiffany talked about aligning work to goals. Then she talked about making progress together by planning and tracking work with full cross-functional visibility. I want to talk a little bit about unleashing knowledge. So today, knowledge is scattered across the organization. It is in your Slack chat, it's in your mailbox, it's in various different SaaS tools, and sometimes it's just in your mind. This also means knowledge is nowhere to be found, no single source of truth. So how do we unleash knowledge in an organization? We think about it in 3 different parts, right? In order to unleash knowledge, you need to be building knowledge in a cohesive fashion across the organization. You need to be sharing it seamlessly, and you need to be harnessing knowledge, meaning accessing it in the right context and learning from it. Building knowledge requires documenting your know-how, your ideas, your workflows, your assets in one place in the most natural way. With flexible content types in Confluence, we're committed to achieving that. Already, so many of you are using Confluence pages to document knowledge. In the last 12 months alone, our customers have created more than 76 million pages in Confluence. But pages are only one type of content, one content type that allows you to build a knowledge base. We've recently launched Confluence whiteboards to enable all teams across the world to capture ideas. Any users here of whiteboards? Excellent. Well, good to see. Let's go back to our VitaFleet example that Tiffany set up. Let's say they're gearing up for a big campaign. Their first stop for ideation is likely a Confluence whiteboard. Here, different marketing functions can collaborate on a single whiteboard. In this instance, creating sticky notes on campaign tactics like launching webinars, videos, etc. They can also bring live data into the whiteboard, smart links for Jira issues. Once they're done, they can drop their entire whiteboard into a Confluence page so anybody looking at the page later can see the source of brainstorming and ideation very easily. All of these ideas are now part of the teamwork graph. If whiteboards is our way of capturing ideas, then Confluence databases is where we capture structured data. Let's say our marketing team is ready to launch and gearing up for getting some beta customers on board. To track all of their beta customers, they decide to use a Confluence database, so they can add hundreds of thousands of customers here. Each row represents the customer's name, industry sentiment, and whether they agree to a customer's story or not. For those customers who are aligned on a customer story, our marketing manager can seamlessly create Jira tickets to kick off a workflow. In the Atlassian System of Work, there is seamless flow between our products thanks to our cloud platform. Let's move on from building knowledge to sharing knowledge. In year 2024, with teams distributed increasingly, asynchronous communication is just as critical as synchronous meetings and might actually make you more productive. We've recently added Loom to the family, and we believe asynchronous video is a key component of unleashing knowledge in the organization. Let's continue with our example. The marketing manager may want to update her leadership team on the team's progress. She just jumps on the Loom and records a video really fast, presenting her Confluence page. Why is this powerful? Because she just got away with coordinating multiple stakeholders and multiple calendars, and instead she just recorded a Loom and shared it. Once she shares her Loom, she will receive asynchronous feedback in the forms of comments and reactions. This is much better than taking copious notes in a meeting with action items. Taking copious notes is not my favorite thing. I don't know about you. And once Loom updates are recorded, you can drop them into anywhere. In this case, she drops her Loom into a project status update so that stakeholders can be informed in the right place at the right time. So at Atlassian, we are such huge fans of Looms. I can't even tell you how many Looms I record every week to share information with teams large and small. Sometimes they're in-depth presentations, and sometimes they're moments of inspiration I want to share with my team. But it helps information flow, knowledge flow across the organization. Okay, so we've talked about building and sharing knowledge in our organizations. How do we harness knowledge? As knowledge compounds, it becomes critical to make it available in the right context. Rovo comes to the rescue here with AI-powered knowledge discovery. Let's see how this is relevant in the VitaFleet example. A member of their regional sales team is looking for some basic information on the campaign. but has no idea where that information is captured. In this instance, she can just ask Rowo when exactly the campaign will launch. And a knowledge card pops up, giving her exactly that information. Now, the knowledge card actually went to the teamwork graph and dynamically built that response. So as your teamwork graph evolves, the answer to the same question may be different over time. She can also see the health portal as a broader topic on the left and click on any related follow-up questions. In this instance, she clicks on related work, and it takes her to a new Confluence page. Here, she stumbles across an acronym that she doesn't understand and just highlights the text. The definition is immediately served up, again, dynamically. This is just another example of how anyone can harness information in the right context within the Atlassian System of Work. Tiffany and I have so far taken you through our teamwork foundations. Like I mentioned before, these foundations power up a lot of other Atlassian solutions and products. To learn more about how our solutions fit into the system of work, please visit some of the breakouts on enterprise agility, service management, and software development. Now, the most critical piece of the Atlassian System of Work is the Atlassian Cloud Platform. I will now invite Tiffany back on stage to talk about platform experiences and the teamwork graph.
Thanks so much, Zeynep. So now that you've got how goals, work, and knowledge together form that teamwork foundation, and your teams are all collaborating in this amazing Atlassian system of work, let's get into how you build and power such a system. Now, remember when I shared that feedback earlier about how customers said, hey, you guys have like a gold mine, we put really important data in there, help us get some more value out of it? It's what we've been working on, but we've had to build it as a brand new Atlassian cloud platform. And that's why you've heard from us over the last 5-6 years presenting all the progress that we've been building on us. And that's because with over 300,000 of you, we feel really immense responsibility to build an Atlassian platform that doesn't just support all the product use cases that you've created on the system today, but we want it to grow and scale with you. We want it to be the operating system that runs your company, that becomes the backbone of what connects all those teams together. And hopefully you heard Mike go through the layers, and I'll step through it now as well. Because the Atlassian platform is really important, and it starts with that foundation at the bottom of enterprise infrastructure, because that's where we're building all these teamwork capabilities on top of. First and foremost, that enterprise infrastructure layer provides all those critical service capabilities. You heard us announce more progress on those capabilities in the keynote, and we're committed to continue to push on this front as your needs keep growing in these areas. But the real magic behind our platform, it's in our teamwork graph. Now, the teamwork graph, it's the culmination of 2 decades of research, looking at how your teams collaborate, taking all of that experience, and we've distilled it into one really powerful set of technologies. That teamwork graph, it's comprised of an object graph, a people graph, actions and AI models to power workflows, and as you heard Anu and Mike announce, now it includes a semantic index. And what that means is together, all of these combine to provide the most complete and sophisticated picture of how teamwork actually flows across your organization. And to drive this teamwork, Zeynep and I just went through how teams, goals, work, and knowledge, they form those core elements, right? And so those core elements, they become the architectural anchors of our teamwork graph. They give meaning to all that immense raw data that you've been collecting. And it connects every aspect of teamwork across all these different teams, whether it's a software team, an IT team, marketing, legal, et cetera. The teamwork graph's models, they expand and strengthen over time. increasing in value the more data you add to it. And it also maps data from other apps in your tech stack outside the Atlassian ecosystem. So you can balance that best-of-breed flexibility with having a common data platform. And what's so powerful about that teamwork graph is that it enriches the experiences, the insights, and suggestions to help teams collaborate with that context. You're getting value from that data, finally. So let's take a look at this in action. So released at Team 23 last year, Atlassian Analytics is our purpose-built analytics offering that makes data-driven decision-making easier across your dev, IT, and business teams. Since last year's GA, many high-performing teams are now leveraging it to improve their understanding of how work is flowing and increasing their performance outcomes. Powered by our teamwork graph, insights within Atlassian Analytics are richer with out-of-the-box Atlassian data and support for that third-party data I mentioned. We heard clearly from you that you want more opinionated analytics from us. So we've productionized several dozen pre-built dashboards based on your feedback over the last year. And here's one of our most popular. In this one, software teams can use the engineering effectiveness scorecard. This dashboard pulls in data from your full dev toolchain, contextual information about your team, so that you can understand the dynamic of flow of work across all these teams. Now, our goal is to get teams going faster on using these insights, right? So they can actually have greater impact. So you're going to see more from us soon on how we're going to democratize these insights into the Atlassian home that I showed you a little bit earlier, as well as embed them into the individual products and customize them for your teams. So those insights become a lot more powerful. So speaking of making better use of insights, one platform capability we're seeing all of you continue to make huge use of is automation. Automation is a really powerful platform capability. It's leveraged by nearly 200,000 customers. So really the question is, who's not using it and why not? Because just in the past year, you've created 2.7 million rules that have run 13 billion times. And I won't do the math on what that means in cost and time savings, because I'm sure you can all do that in your heads. So for the minority of you that haven't been using it, automation is tied also to the teamwork graph. So it enables you to trigger automation rules and take action across both our Atlassian apps and other apps that you use. So the goal is, let's streamline all those tedious tasks so your team can focus on things that actually add value. And now, with natural language processing, it's easier than ever to create new rules by just describing what you want. For example, you can automate your comms playbook for when there's a high priority incident. Just describe what you want to happen to Atlassian Intelligence, which turns it into a rule, puts it into our rule builder. You'll see that in a moment. It's new and improved. And these rules will monitor for incidents from Jira Service Management. It sends an alert email, slacks the teams, and even spins up a comms plan in Confluence. Just did that in like 10 seconds. So now you're helping your teams with really high stakes collaboration. It's so much easier and more powerful in Atlassian's system of work. So what exactly happens when our intelligence capabilities are powered by the teamwork graph? Let's look a little bit under the hood here. So let's walk through a bit of a comparison. So here's an answer you'd get from a typical AI approach to your prompts about progress on a project while you were out on vacation. It's a reasonable response, right? It's nice to quickly know about the work task that got completed while you're out. But with the teamwork graph, the experiences and capabilities become so much richer because you have all that connected data to leverage. Atlassian Intelligence and Rovo, they can contextualize the answer. They're taking the team information, that knowledge information, that goal information. You get a much higher quality response, and you're using that object and people graph to add power to connect the dots for people. And that's what ends up taking all the time. It's adding the human element of collaboration and giving people that context. And you heard us talk about how Rovo helps you across your teamwork foundations. Let's actually look at how you can leverage it to inform the next phase of your team's product strategy. Here, we simply ask a question in chat about what customer feedback is available. And Rovo can leverage the power, again, of that connected data to bring together all of these data sources across your organization, unleashing that knowledge that Zeynep explained. It analyzes it. It gives teams a really great summary that would have taken those teams many hours to generate previously. And there's more. It leverages the teamwork graph to find all the open Jira issues, could be across many different projects, that are related. And then you can insert them directly into your Confluence page with one click. And Rovo even helps you discover the right people to talk to for help to accelerate that collaboration. Because as Mike explained in the keynote, the teamwork graph is looking at relationships. It's not just a flat org chart. We know work is a lot more complicated within an organization. So we're mapping that much more complicated view and helping your team tap into it. And AI unleashes the power of all this knowledge that really is already in your organizations, right? We're just making it available at everyone's fingertips now. And when it works, it can kind of seem like magic. And that's our goal for the Atlassian System of Work. Like most OS platforms, they're invisible when they're working well. They're powering limitless experiences that your users haven't even envisioned. So even though we're at the end of this super session talk, we're just at the beginning of the journey on our system of work. I'll leave you with a few powerful stats from the customers who have already started standardizing on our platform. I think of them as the trailblazers. They're sharing what benefits they're experiencing already with all of you, because we know this type of journey, it's a bit more complicated, right? It requires more decision makers than adopting a single tool. So we and all these customers, we're sharing these stories here at Team 24 this week to help you get started. So this is just the beginning. We're going to continue to work on this. We want to bring your organization together through the best system of work possible. So thank you very much.